All righty. Okay, well, welcome. We are really excited to kick off this new school year. We have just under 40 families that are part of our Bristow CC community through Foundations, Essentials, and Challenge. So we're really excited about forming community with you guys, new friends, old friends, people who have been around forever. We are really looking forward to all of you guys meeting each other and hanging out. So the director team has been working hard, the tutor team's been working hard, and we're really excited about this new year. So I am going to start us off here with our handbook. And really, what is this handbook? You have several resources for you as a parent in CC. One of those resources is your program guide, your Foundations, Essentials, or Challenge guide. That is your primary resource when it comes to curriculum. This handbook is your other really important resource. This is your primary resource when it comes to logistical, operational, safety policies, all of that, weather, sick, all the things that could come up throughout the year. This is your resource. So I want to ask and suggest that everyone print it out, save it on your computer. It's also in the file folder on our Band app so that you can easily access it and not lose it, even in the midst of community if needed. So this is going to be your go-to. First page in our handbook is a table of contents so that you can kind of quickly glance and see, is the question, or is there an answer to the question that I have, or the thing that I am trying to figure out in this wonderful handbook. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling. You guys know our mission. Obviously, we welcome you as a director team. We have a full director team this year, from Foundations and Essentials all the way through Challenge A, all the way through Challenge 4. So we are a full campus this year. We're very excited about that. And we do want to take just a minute to introduce ourselves. So I will get us started. Many of you know me, some of you may not. I am our Foundations and Essentials Director. I've been a part of CC for now 12 years. I've been at CC Bristow for 11. I have kids in Foundations, Essentials, Challenge 1 and Challenge 2 this year, and I have 4 lovely kiddos. So that is me, Miss Beth Ann.
And hi, I am Beth Ann. I am the Challenge A director. I have 2 boys. One will be going into Challenge 1, and the other one will be going into his last year of Foundations and Essentials. And I've been in CC for going into my 9th year, I think. I never really know.
Okay, is Rebecca here? Okay, why don't we go to Crystal, and then if Rebecca jumps on, we can come
Yes,
back.
I just saw a note from Rebecca. She's not got a great connection. She's out of town.
Oh,
So
bummer.
I'll
Yeah, she's
go.
at camp.
Let's see. Rebecca Newhouse, she's going to be our Challenge B director. She's been in CC for 6 years with 7 kids, and they are at a family camp in North Carolina. So you'll get to meet her in person next Thursday. My name is Crystal White, and I am the Challenge 1 director. I have 4 kids, and I think it might be our 11th year going into CC. Um, but I have I have a 3-year-old, turned 3 today, actually. And then I have my son. He's gonna be, just like Beth Ann said, his last year also of Foundations and Essentials, hard to believe. I will have my daughter with me in Challenge 1, and then I have a Challenge 4 student that will be with Aaron. So,
Hi, I'm Carly Neff. I'm the Challenge 2 director. This is my 3rd year with Challenge 2. I've got 5 kiddos. My oldest is actually in challenge 4. And then I have my next youngest is Noelle. She is she's going into challenge 3. I have my middle child, Jack, is going into challenge 1. And then Caroline is with a couple of these other director kids, and she's finishing her last year of Foundations Essentials. And then I've got Elijah, my baby, and he's not a baby. He's 9, but he's in Foundations.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm the Challenge 3 director. This will be my second year. We've been with CC, I think this is our 4th year. We have 5 kids also. Zach, my oldest, will be in Challenge 3 with me. Alex is in Challenge B. Luke is finishing Foundations and Essentials. I just realized that just now. This year. And then I have Abigail and Emma. They're twins in Foundations. So if you see 2 little blondes, they're mine.
And hello, I am Erin. Sorry, I'm in the car. I will be directing Challenge 4 this year. The first senior class. I'm super excited about it. This will be our 4th year in CC. I have 4 kiddos. I have one that is going to be in Challenge 2, one that will be in Challenge 1, one in Foundations and Essentials, and then my youngest is just in Foundations.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we are super blessed to have such a wonderful director team. We also have a wonderful Foundations tutor team. And if you are in Foundations and Essentials, we will introduce all of them. I'll let them kind of do the same thing in our Foundations and Essentials orientation. Awesome. Okay, I am going to keep on moving along. We will talk about the highlights of our classical model and orientation, or you may have already in your challenge orientation. So we are community. Lots of you have heard us talk about that. We are classical, we are Christian, we are community. Classical is our model of education. Christian is who we are. It's what we're all about. We are a biblical worldview curriculum. As well as we are community. And this is our why. When we talk about all these other things that we will mention in the handbook, this is why. This is why we do things the way we do, why we operate the way that we do, so that we can be community. There are going to be some of us who, as it says on this page, that grow weary and need others to hold their arms up this year. There are going to be others who are strong and ready to hold somebody else's arms up. And we do this when we're all contributing to that community through volunteering, through serving in the classrooms, through being just lead learners together and putting God first and taking care of our kiddos. Also, our why is our core values. We will, again, be talking more about this in orientation, or you might already have. But this is our foundation. Everything falls back on these core values. You may hear some of these come up in conversations with directors as we make decisions throughout this year, as we maybe help a family work through a conflict or a concern. These are what we reflect back on. And so I just want to bring these to your attention. We'll be talking about them with your students in the classroom as well as in opening assembly each week. Also, just to reference that our local belief statement is in our handbook. All of you guys have read it. You've all signed it as part of the application process. So we're not going to go through it in detail right now, but we just wanted to reference and let you guys know that it's there. That way, if you need to reflect back to it, or we need to reflect back to it, we can have it ready to go. All righty. I'm going to keep on scrolling. Okay, next page is on our discipline policy and conflict resolution. And I believe Crystal is going to get us started on that.
Into my right page here. All right, so I'm just going to start at the verse at the top, Deuteronomy 6:76. You shall teach them diligently to your children and shall talk of them when you sit in your house and when you walk by the way and when you lie down and when you rise. I love this verse. And it's basically just reminding us that just in our grammar stage in CC, we need repetition. And so we're going to try to talk about this a lot and just remind each other that this is a normal thing to have conflict. If you have, if your child has a friend, if you have one child, or if you have more than one child, you hear and see conflict happening a lot. Well, CC is no different, and we just have more opportunity to practice our conflict resolution skills with each other. So I'm just going to read on this page. Classical Conversations is committed to helping our students develop Christian character in their studies. Therefore, encouraging one another to exhibit godly character is an important part of our entire program. As parents, tutors, and directors, it is our privilege and responsibility to encourage and equip our children for success in the classroom and in group activities. Let us pursue an attitude of grace with one another and use our discretion with our spoken words. Our communication should always build up and not tear down. So number one, obey authority, including tutors, the directors, and other parents when appropriate. Be kind, demonstrate respect to property. Demonstrate respect to the people by treating each person with gentleness, including exhibiting a respectful tone of voice, making eye contact when speaking, using courtesies like please and thank you, and encouraging one another. Be helpful. Look for opportunities to assist other students, tutors, or the directors. For conflicts that arise within the classroom or on our campus, we will adhere to the biblical standards set forth in Matthew 18. If there is a problem with someone disrupting the class or acting in a manner that is disrespectful to others, he or she will be lovingly but firmly advised to stop the behavior. If the person continues to be disrespectful or disruptive, they may be asked to leave the room and a parent of the child will be located. A follow-up conversation between the tutor or director and the parent will occur to discuss the situation. If necessary, the director will be advised of the situation. If a conflict persists, then further action may be necessary, such as developing a SMART goal with the director. The inability to reach the goal could result in being asked to leave the program. In the case of injury or a physical conflict, please make the director aware immediately so that an incident report can be filed. And so we just quickly mentioned SMART goals. And so this is just something that we just wanted to explain that we do have in place. And I think that it is good for us all to know that there is a plan. And Matthew 18, that is the first step of the plan. So whether it's our kids, I think it's a great opportunity to learn, hey, I just saw you interacting with your friend and it didn't look like you were being kind. I think we need to go over and apologize. Or if it's your child that's feeling wronged, to show them. We need to model this for these kids. And so modeling, hey, that hurt my feelings. And again, just kind of going to that person is our very first step in every situation. So, but Beth Ann is going to just explain a little bit more about our SMART goals that are set in place in community.
Yeah, so SMART goals, you can see the box down there that talks about SMART goals. In the case that a behavior or expectation needs to be adjusted or clarified on campus, CC encourages directors to develop a SMART goal with the family. The goal of the plan is to find a solution together that benefits the student, family, and the community while developing godly character and establishing healthy boundaries and expectations. So this is just one of our tools to help to foster a good community, and the commitment that all 3 points of that triangle we have made with each other, the parent, the tutor, and the student. And so a SMART goal will help to set specific and measurable and attainable goals so that we can all be on the same page. And we can just help to foster that partnership within our community.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling down. Nicole, would you like to go ahead and talk about our technology on campus?
Sure. So as far as students goes, this generally has to do more with challenge students. But we are a tech-free campus largely. If a parent needs to get in touch with their student during the day, feel free to call your director or the tutor. Well, I guess it would just be the director. And your student can be reached that way. As far as parents who are in the classroom, we love that you're there interacting. In order to interact more fully, it's important to put our phones away, unless, of course, your child is being very cute and you need to take a picture or a video. Please, please, please do that. Share it with the class. But largely, we are there to interact and actually, be present with them and enjoy the class experience together.
All right, the next part of our handbook addresses parents in the building. This is generally for foundations and essentials. We do expect parents to stay in the classroom with their children. Of course, we know that many of you have multiple children in multiple classrooms. So you're welcome to go back and forth between those classrooms as you wish, but we do ask that parents remain in the classroom with the students, as we are primarily in foundations and essentials modeling the information to you. Also, in the case that you need to leave campus throughout the day, again, this is for foundations and essentials. If you need to leave the campus, we do ask that you take your children with you. Our insurance requires all of our kids in foundations and essentials to have a parent on campus with them at all times. If there is something, an emergency, something happens, and we need to talk about that, feel free to come to me, but the expectation is that we all are with our kids, and if we need to leave, that we take our kids with us. One thing that does apply to challenge parents and also F&E is if you have visitors. We love grandparents, grandmas, uncles, aunts. We love them coming to see what CC is all about, and that happens a lot, and we encourage that. We do ask if you have a visitor joining you, and again, this is for F&E and challenge. If you're going to be on campus and you have a visitor with you, just let your director know ahead of time. And we have visitor name tags that we will be using just so that we can be aware of who is in the building, who is with us versus who may not be with us, just for safety reasons for your kiddos. Also, non-CC students. So CC has a strict policy that any student ages 4 and older by June 1st cannot be on campus unless they are enrolled in a CC program. So also to maintain the integrity of the agreement that we have with the church, as well as what our insurance requires, only students enrolled in foundations, essentials, or our challenge programs, or who may be filling a role such as a child care worker, are permitted on campus. Of course, talk to your director if there is a unique circumstance. And this does not apply. We do make exceptions for special events like Faces of History or a science fair, debate. Younger siblings want to come watch their older siblings. That's wonderful, and we encourage that, but we ask that students who are not enrolled not be in our classrooms. Okay, and we're going to move on to dress code with Miss Erin.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so the dress code, I will start with the verse in 1 Corinthians 10:31. It says, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. So we know and trust that as part of your calling to love, nurture, and educate your children. As CC parents, you'll guide your kids in learning to respect themselves and others and to honor the Lord with their dress. We understand that families may hold differing standards on clothing in their own homes. CC expects the student's dress to be neat, honorable, appropriate for the occasion, and conducive to full participation in all activities while in community. We request that both parents and students be proactive in ensuring that they uphold these standards each week. We do have a couple of things just to pinpoint. We ask that you refrain from wearing clothing that exposes the midriff, navel, cleavage, or undergarment. Skirts should be knee length or below, and the shorts need to have a 3-inch inseam or longer. And we want to make sure that the shorts are not rolled up. So parents on campus, I'm talking to myself, check your kids even once they get there, even if you've checked them once they've left your house. Avoid clothing that is not appropriate because of slits, rips, or holes in the garment, and just use your own wisdom and discretion with tightness of the clothing. Also, at CC, we have special events that will require different dress codes. Some may be formal, professional, or creative attire. And these things include like science fair, mock trial, debates, faces of history, campus theme days. We just ask that you still uphold our dress code on those days as well. And if you have specific questions about those requirements, you can reach out to your director.
Thank you. And I don't believe we have anyone specific talking about lost and found, but I'll just mention it. We don't have a lost and found on campus, although Grace Life Community Church does. So just in general, just make sure that you don't bring anything that is very valuable to campus. And we do our best to try to help those that, forgot the water bottle in the gym, but we don't have a designated lost and found. All right, our sick policy.
Yep, that's me. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that can happen, and we understand that. Generally speaking, you want to keep your whole family at home if anyone in the family is having a fever or if there's somebody vomiting. So if there is somebody in the family with a fever and they end up going without a fever for 24 hours unmedicated, then you are safe to come. When it comes to vomiting, within the last 24 hours before CC meets, please keep everybody at home because those things spread pretty quickly. You also don't want to bring anything contagious like lice, pink eye, anything like that. You want to go ahead and stay home. Now, if in doubt, because once again, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of different scenarios that can happen in a family, especially when you got a lot of kids. Definitely contact your director. For instance, your child could have a fever because they have an ear infection. Well, if you contact your director, I'm going to guess that they're going to say, you can bring the rest of the family over to campus and leave your one child with the ear infection at home since they're not feeling good. So once again, just give us a call if you have questions, but that's the general policy.
We'll come back to weather in a minute, Carly, when we get there. I realized I put them together. Also, just to let you guys know, now that you see Carly's face, if you don't know her already, she is our resident nurse on campus. So if your kid gets sick, if they fall down, if they need something, we are often going to Miss Carly to assess whether or not we have broken bones, we have other things. So if you want to note who she is, what she looks like, that's good, especially for those of you dropping off. It may be in cooperation with Miss Carly if we call you and say, uh-oh, Johnny fell in the gym today. So just wanted you guys to know that. Okay, safety on campus. Miss Beth Ann.
Okay, so there's a lot of information on this page. Make sure that you're super familiar with it. But the big thing to know is that all of Bristow leadership will carry a walkie-talkie with them. So your tutor, your directors will all have walkie-talkies to communicate. So if in doubt, listen for direction from your tutor or director. But in the case of a fire or another situation that requires evacuation, please help to escort any children who are with you to the nearest exit. Please help keep kids calm and together. And we congregate on the grass on the other side of the parking lot behind where the like basketball hoop is or was. Hopefully it will still be there. And then we will call 911. But if the fire alarm goes off, they already know. So that's a good thing. If there's a tornado, we are going to, or some type of like weather event where we need to get to shelter, the place to go is the bathrooms that we're not supposed to use regularly. So the bathrooms that are in the very front of the church, those are the safest for a weather event. So same process, help with your tutors, help with all the children. In all of these situations, trust that wherever your child is, the tutor that's responsible for that child is going to get them to safety. It is really important that you are helping with the children that are in the classroom that you are in. Because if we have moms trying to go all over the place to find their own kids, it's going to be chaos. So that is really important to remember. Your tutors and directors have extra training in emergency situations, and so trust that they will be getting your kids to safety. In the event of a lockdown, listen to information over the walkie, but we are going to stay in our classrooms, lock the door, pull the shade down, turn off the lights, and keep everyone as quiet as possible and calm. As far as, so those are like extra events. This is just in general, things to help us stay safe and secure on campus. At CCU, as the parent, are responsible for your children. So you're expected to know where your children are at all times and guide them in following common sense rules. Children roaming alone in the hallways will not be permitted. Parents of F&E students should remain on campus. For liability purposes, only children enrolled in CC or in the nursery should be present on campus. We already talked about that one. No adult should ever be alone in a room with a child for whom he or she is not a parent or guardian. In an emergency on campus, call 911. If you are in need of immediate assistance, but it is not an emergency, you can call Kathy's cell phone, or if you know any of the director's cell phones, you can also call them if you can't locate Kathy. If it's like a medical emergency, like Kathy said, you can radio Carly. If it's a security situation, you can radio me. Number 5, in the case of an injury while on campus, an incident report will be signed and filed. Okay, so with that, I'm sorry, with a medical emergency, we also have first aid kits available. So there's a small first aid kit if you need a Band-Aid or something at there will be a director table set up. You'll see it in when you get there. But yeah, so if you need a Band-Aid or something, that's available. The last one, all outside doors will be locked or have a person present to let students inside the building. We, for right now, are only permitted to use one door in front of the building to enter and exit. Doors can never be open. Please call Kathy or your director if you get locked out. And like I said before, all leadership is aware of safety measures to be taken in case of emergency. And if in doubt, follow the directions of your director or tutor. I think that's all. If you have questions, please let me know.
Thank you. And just if you're wondering, as Beth Ann said, the directors and tutors have all or will be, as we get together for our foundations orientation, be going through a short safety training of where things are in the building, where the closest exits are to their classrooms, and going back over this. So as Beth Ann said, it's super important that we follow the leadership of those in our classrooms. Okay. Just going to reference the community day schedule. We'll go over this at our F&E orientation, and then Challenge has already reviewed it. But if you need to look back on this or at this, you can see that it is in the handbook. Okay, Crystal.
Hey, so just on that same page, Mom Fellowship, just real quick. And I think Beth Ann's going to talk about the volunteer roles at the end, but this is more so one of those. Just we would love to just have time together with each other before community starts on Thursdays. This would involve the hospitality, and just the need for somebody to be willing to set out the tea and coffee. I know we have a lot of supplies that Kathy has available. We just need, I know a couple of us kind of tag teamed last year so that it wasn't on the same person each week. So something like that could work. But again, it's one of the volunteer roles that Beth Ann would probably bring up later. But this is just, again, a good opportunity for us to see each other, chat before things start in opening assembly. And then challenge pickup and drop off. I might read it so I don't forget anything important, but challenge student drop-off is from 8 to 8:15. Students are expected to go directly to their classroom. In the case that a student is running late or absent, the director should be notified. And so just in regards to pickup before I go to, or drop off, and then before I start the pickup. It is very important. And so just you could see a scenario of possibly, you dropped your child off, they never came to class, maybe wandering, who knows, we start class and we didn't get anything from you. So we're now wondering, okay, well, they must be here. I didn't receive something. So then we're having to maybe stop and go look. We just don't want to be in the scenario of, there's a child or children somewhere playing or talking, and then, they have no adult supervision at all. So we definitely need them to go from you straight to us. They need to check in with us. We need to see that they are there. So again, please, it is important for those challenge students that you let us know if you're running late or they're not going to be there. We just need to know that. So we're not assuming they must be somewhere in the building then. Challenge students will be released from their classrooms at 3 o'clock. So we wrap up our day and then we kind of clean up. So it might not be 3 o'clock on the dot when they come out, but just so you know, that is when we're released. So that is the possibility of when they will come out. Parents should be outside to pick them up at this time. In the case that you're running late, the director should also be notified. Just again, that, the time between where they're in our care and then we're assuming they're straight to your care. We just don't want any miscommunication. I know a lot of times, the students like to hang out and talk, and that's fine. But we just are asking that you're there at 3 to be that parent receiving them. And it's also a great time for you to hop out your car, chat about the day. A lot of us are kind of cleaning up, but as we come out, we'd love to also see you and say hi. So just a reminder again, just communication is very important. Just again, texting, letting us know that you'll not be there or running late is great.
Okay. All right, back to you, Carly.
All right, and we're at the weather policy. So just know that none of us want to cancel. We definitely would love to stick with the calendar that we've put together. However, sometimes it's not always possible. So we do, because Bristow CC is in Prince William County, we do follow the Prince William County schools somewhat. So if they are closed, then the church is closed, and therefore we are closed. We will not meet that week. And just to tell you right away, you don't do whatever level you're in, you don't do that next week's work, right? Everything's put on hold. You basically are having a week off. And then we resume that next week's work when we come back. If Prince William County is on a delay, then we most likely will meet. You want to check the band. Probably also, I'm going to guess that directors will be, at least the challenge directors will probably be doing text messages to their families, their classrooms, but definitely check the band for a determination by 7 a.m. on a morning of a delay or just inclement weather. You're waiting to see, we've got to make a call by 7 a.m. Use your best judgment though. If you are living somewhere where you just don't think it's safe, then you should not leave your home. Your safety is obviously our primary concern. And like it says at the end, it does say, like I said, we're going to make up that canceled class. We do have some extra weeks built in for the different levels. We'd love to not use them once again, because those are our breaks in the spring. But sometimes it cannot be helped.
Thank you. All right. Let's talk about lunch and recess. So if you are new to our community, you may not know this, but if you've been here for a while, not much is changing. We have lunchtime for our challenge students from 11:30 to 12:20, and our lunch for Foundations Essentials families is 12 to 12:40, 12:45-ish. And then a 15-minute cleanup before we head to class. So there is an overlap of about 15-20 minutes of all the programs. And that is for primarily, one, we want to see you. We want to see the moms, the challenge directors want to interact with Foundations and Essentials moms as well. This is also for families who have children across all of our programs. That gives these moms and families 15-20 minutes or so to all be together and to eat lunch together. So that's why there is an overlap there. Our gym is very large, but we do have a lot of people. So we just ask that everyone be very careful and mindful of each other. Our lunch and snacks are nut-free. We have several students on our campus with allergies to various nuts, severe allergies. So we are a nut-free campus. Also, you do have access to a refrigerator, freezer, and microwaves in the kitchen. Although those lines get very long, we only have permission to use one of those microwaves. So you can imagine what that line looks like. So we just suggest that you bring food that does not need to be microwaved when possible. Obviously, just as we've talked about before, we want to make sure that we all keep our children with us at lunchtime. We cannot allow wandering through the building or the church grounds outside without a parent. So we do ask that you make sure that you know where your children are if you have a foundation or essentials student. Also, we do have the playground moving down into recess. Lunch and recess just are kind of all one big fun event. So our recess takes place in the gym as well with parent supervision. We do have a wonderful playground outside that we highly suggest that you use. As we are growing, as we are adding to our number of people in the gym, using the outside spaces that we have may become more of an option or something that we even ask the community to do from week to week. As long as the weather is nice, eating outside, playing outside actually really helps with the cleanup of the gym. So we are slowly moving towards doing that a lot more outside for recess and lunch to help with that cleanup load. It does take quite some time to clean up the gym with the number of families that we have. Also, in regards to that, quick update with our facility. We meet at Grace Life Community Church. They are so wonderful and generous. We want to make sure that we are caring for the facility, that we are leaving it the way that we found it. Also, any facility damages, big or small, are the responsibility of the family that was involved in those. Unfortunately, CC Bristow operates on a very small budget. So we do ask for the family's help if there are upfront costs or even a deductible if something, even if it is being covered by our insurance policy. So just to be aware of that. Also, our facility, this is a quick update, is going through a little bit of construction and some updates this year. So we are asking all of our families to be flexible. That's going to be our word for this year. I already know, we already know that the gym that we have opening assembly, lunch, and recess that I just spoke of will most likely not be available on Thursday, August 21st, as well as probably the next week after that, possibly few more weeks after that. We do have a plan B. We've known that since May. So we have been brainstorming and figuring that out, but that does mean that those weeks, as long as the church or as long as the gym is unavailable, our lunch and recess will take place outside. In the case that it is raining, fortunately, we don't have to worry about cold weather quite yet in August, but if it is raining, we will use our challenge classrooms for our lunchtime. And the church is also going to be going under construction in the front part of the building. So where we generally enter and exit the building, at some point throughout our year, we do not know when quite yet. Could be first semester, could be second semester, but that whole front foyer will be under construction and unavailable to us. So when that happens, we will be communicating to you, but we will be moving our entering and exiting from that front doorway that we've been using to the back doorway in the very back of the building next to the bathrooms near the playground. So we just ask that you be flexible again, that you just make sure that you've got those band notifications on, reading emails, reading text, so that you know logistical changes from week to week if it is happening. Okay, let's see. Also, there is a map in our handbook if you are new to our community and not sure where things are. you can reference that, as well as our schedule for the year. This includes foundations, essentials, and challenge. I'm just going to point it out and we'll keep moving on. But if you have questions about that, you can refer to that. Okay. And Nicole.
Sorry. Okay, so in order to stay connected, this only mentions one, but we actually have two band sites. It is really helpful for everyone on campus if you're part of the CC Bristow band site that has our schedule on it, big announcements for the campus. This is posted on by the director, so everything's very filtered for that one. The additional Bristow Sharing and Social, I believe it's called, that has more to do with like meetups, or if you have extra curriculum you'd like to sell, or things like that, fun events for homeschoolers in the community. That's on the Bristow Sharing and Social band page. If you don't have access to that, message your director and she will be happy to do that. And I think that's all.
Okay. Serving. This is Aaron.
Can we go watch TV?
Yeah, but you probably have like 10 minutes. After this, I'm gonna go, okay? Almost done, yeah.
Is Aaron Harden still here? If
Um,
you don't mind muting yourself if you just joined, that would be great.
Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself.
You're fine.
Okay. Yes. So serving, in order for our campus to work smoothly and for all of us to have a great time, we need people to step in and serve. We would love for all of you to find some way to serve in. It doesn't necessarily have to be these examples listed on this page. If you have a certain talent or something that you enjoy and you would like to find a way to use those, you can ask your directors on how to get you to plug in to serve, and maybe what ways that you can use those talents. Some specific things that we're already in need of are for people to, we need pizza moms. So that we use that as a fundraiser for our campus. So we'll have pizza days for lunch. So as a pizza mom, we need you just to organize that and to make sure that the right amount of pizza gets ordered and to pass that out during lunch. We are in need of childcare helpers and subs. If our childcare worker is sick or has some sort of emergencies that she is unable to make it, we would love for someone to be able to be on hand for Kathy to contact for that. If we're unable to get people to sign up, then we will probably just have to designate you to help, regardless of if you are interested in it or not. We also like to meet outside of Community Day to do fun field trips and activities. So we need someone to organize those. You can organize for just like challenge levels and just foundations and essentials levels, or a full campus. We need someone to do Mom's Night Out, because as moms like to get to know each other better and to hang out, that makes community more fun as well. Coffee and hospitality. Each week we have a small little coffee station and tea set up in the mornings for the moms, which is really nice. So we need somebody to come in and set that up and start the coffee pot and to make sure that it stays stocked. And we also need people to remain at the doors to let people in the morning, because those doors do need to stay locked. So we need someone there that would like to greet our families as they come in and just to open the doors for them. And like I said, if there's other ways that you would like to use your talents, just reach out and we would love to see how we could get you to serve.
Awesome.
And speaking of serving and band, if you had your notifications turned on, you might have seen the post on band that we are doing a giveaway for anyone who has signed up already on the for a volunteer slot. There are still a whole bunch of gaps, so make sure you check that out and see where you can serve. I think the last time I checked, we have no coffee and no pizza. So those are big ones. Sign up because we need coffee. So I have put everybody in a little wheel to spin. I get to spin the wheel, and you'll win this CC cert. Oh, I don't know if I'm blurred, so maybe you can't see it. Oh, almost. No. Okay. Anyways, it's a great t-shirt. It's size adult medium, and it's in hunter green, and you will win that if your name is drawn. Can I share my screen, Kathy, or no? Will that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll stop sharing mine.
Oh, I can send a request.
And then I will allow you to take the lead. There you go.
All right. So. All right. Can everyone see the wheel? It's so exciting, guys. All right, ready? I'm gonna.
Yay.
Yay.
Chaz, are you on this call? Because that was another thing that you needed to be on the call. So
I am on the call.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. All right, I will set this aside for you, and you will get that shirt. Awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And congratulations, Chaz, on your new CC t-shirt. So yeah, if you have not been able to sign up to volunteer somewhere, please do that soon so that we can get the ball rolling. Things like field trips, things like that, we want to get on our calendar pretty soon so that people can start planning for those, especially that September one. You can just plan one. You don't have to sign up to plan for the whole year. If you just say, you know what, I can organize an apple picking trip in September. Awesome. That's great. We want to hang out outside of community. And this is one of the ways that we do that. Also, there are many others that are very needed to be able to successfully have an enjoyable day in community. It takes a lot. And a lot of hands to pull this off every week. So again, we are asking all families to find an area that you can serve. Some are bigger, some are smaller. If there's nothing, like Erin was saying, if there's nothing on there that you see that you're like, I don't know if I have the capacity for that, I'm in a harder season of life, will you come and talk to us? Part of serving and volunteering in community is also to help you be able to find a place where you can invest in community and meet other people and kind of have some ownership. And so even if you are in a season like that, we want to help you brainstorm. Maybe it's something just real simple during community or a way you could come alongside of director one day to help. So we want to help you find that. So if you guys can make sure to check that sign up on our band and sign up for something as soon as possible, that would be fantastic. And if you are not on band for any reason, please reach out, like Nicole said, to your director. We apologize if someone got missed and you haven't gotten that invitation. So we want to make sure that we get that to you as soon as possible as we are communicating a good bit moving forward as we get started. Okay, so Awesome. We stayed within our hour. I am so proud of us. If you know us, that is an accomplishment. So I'm very proud. And I hope that this was helpful for you. Please keep this handbook handy and refer back to it when you have questions. And we can't wait to see you. Challenge starts next week. Week 1 is next Thursday for our challenge programs. Foundations and Essentials, you have orientation on the 21st, and week 1 begins on the 28th. All right, well, we are officially done with our handbook orientation. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes if anybody has any follow-up questions. If not, thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see you soon. Have a good day.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Ladies, if someone says they'll do pizza, I did find out that the church has a deal. It's like $7.99 through the church.
Wow.
So that's why I priced it higher to actually make money that last time. I don't remember if we did 10 or 12 bucks. Maybe we did 10 bucks. I don't know. We did something, so we actually made money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because after you do tip and stuff, it gets
Right.
high. I think we did 12 because
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a whole pizza, right.
Right.
That's
I
Domino's.
just offered the whole pizza. That was helpful too. That's
Right. Yeah.
That was Domino's.
What
that
was
was
it?
Papa
Okay,
John's.
Eleanor, you did it with me. Do you remember?
Oh.
I don't remember who it was. It was something, maybe it was Papa John's, but it was like once I told them where it was going to be delivered, they were like, "Oh, we have a deal with the church." So it wasn't like I could do any other deal, you know? That was the best thing. Also, I think I texted who, so you guys have like leads, I think Nicole and Crystal, right? You guys are certain, like, didn't you put certain people to talk to about certain things?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to text you again, but look at my text